Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb Presents. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. So glad you guys could join us once again. For those tuning in on the simulcast at Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and on X, we're glad you all can be with us. Going to welcome those tuning in over on Instagram. And last but certainly not least, going to bring in our friends over on the Amazon Live platform. Have a great guest that's joining us today. She's been with us before. Melanie D. Phillips is going to be our guest today. She's not only an author, she's also a motivational speaker. And through her organization, she's been able to motivate and inspire others as well, which definitely has been able to make a difference in the world. I want to talk to her not only about the journey that she's been on, but also what it's been like for her to use her platform the way that she has. Melanie, welcome back to the broadcast.
Thanks for having me, Cyrus. I am elated to be a part, to be on with you again. So thanks.
Look, the pleasure is definitely all mine. Melanie, you've been doing so much great work, and I think a great place for us to start the conversation, if people were to go to especially your Facebook page, they'll see that, of course, as I mentioned, you're an author, but you've been able to build this platform that really does give a voice to the voiceless and also share the stories of others. What has it been like for you to be a conduit to others, Melanie, when it comes to not only being able to give them tools that they can use, but also to be able to share their stories?
You know what? It's been amazing, but I cannot take um I can't take the credit for this. I am only doing what I have been called to do. So what God is calling me to do is not just have a platform just to have it, but
Mhm.
to also be like a servant, just like me with honoring the cancer survivors. I am not my diagnosis, beauty in the battle. This
Yeah.
is them, honoring them so that they can be able to tell their stories, but they can be able to also help those who are in the midst, in the throes of cancer. So I am always trying to help those who need the help the most. It's not about me, about what I can do, but it's about how can the organization, how God can use me, and then me going forward and helping those, helping those, letting those be heard, those voices be heard, because those voices are powerful. Those voices are the voices that can inspire others. Those voices are the voices that can tell somebody, hey, if I've been through it, you can go through it. I came out okay. Yes, I had some roadblocks and some trials and tribulations and storms along the way, but I got through this. So that's what I am called to do, is pretty much to be a servant as well. So that's what I'm doing.
Love that. Hello to you, Sloan, over there on YouTube. Glad you could be able to join us. Hello to you, Aaliyah. I like that name. Good to be able to see you as well over there as well. Want to welcome Benjamin. Hello to you over there on IG. If you guys have any questions or comments for Melanie, make sure you guys put those in the chat. We do have the chat open on all the platforms. So, Melanie, you mentioned your organization, Strengthen the Bond. I first found out about Strengthen the Bond because of the work you were doing with mothers and daughters. When did you know that it was bigger than just that, that there were other audiences? You just mentioned cancer survivors, right? When did you realize that Strengthen the Bond was going to be able to do more than just being able to connect mothers and daughters together?
This year.
Okay.
I was sitting down one day, and it was the earlier part of the earlier part of the year.
Okay.
Um, I'm sitting down, just doing some studying and reading, and the Holy Spirit say, "I need to open this up. It's not just from bringing mothers and daughters together so that they can connect, so that they can build a better relationship to strengthen their bond,
Mhm.
but also for other families as well, including the men, because their voices need to be heard,
Yes.
including children." Now, I have the Mouth the Babe series where I also talk about the kids a lot, the youth a lot, in regards to, I've done books in regards to, having their voices heard, me
Mhm.
being the mouthpiece for them, but to actually do other things, just like to write and think like a youthpreneur or a kidpreneur, just opening everything up. God said, go forth and do these things because everyone needs to hear from you, and everything falls under strengthen the bond because their bonds can be strengthened, especially when you're talking about young people becoming entrepreneurs, youthpreneurs, as I would say, and kidpreneurs, as I would say, teaching them the things that someone taught me, teaching them how to be an author, just like the Lord taught me in the midst of my divorce, pick up your pen and paper and write. And then I've had other people to come along the way and say, hey, Melanie, this is what you need to do. This is how you do it. This is how we're going to set up everything for you. So not only you're Arthur, you are a brand as well. So me able to pour into the youth and kids as well. So even doing that, and also the brides, we talk about mothers and daughters building and strengthening their relationship, but then when you're talking about brides, them connecting with their fiance and that side of the family, we're talking about strengthening that relationship as well. We got two things. If a mother and a daughter, if they're having problems in their relationship, then they need to make sure that they're, and I'm not going to say always be on the same accord, but they need to strengthen what has been broken, get the help that is needed, start the conversation, start the therapy, start the counseling, start the coaching. And if one or the other does not want to do that, then you need to do that so that you can forgive what has happened, so that you can be able to move forward, and then be able to build another relationship with your soon to be spouse. Because if you going into a relationship, into a marriage with you already have, it's broken from you and your mother, or your mother being a mother, you and your daughter, then how can you effectively be build a relationship with your spouse? So at least the communication needs to start, it needs to take place, communicating. And then with that, you bringing up the other family in, because for some mother-in-laws, they think that, oh, I'm losing a son. And even for some moms, you think the bride of the mother, they think that I'm losing a daughter, but you are not. You're joining those two families together, and you need to be able to do that effectively. May there be some disagreements? Yes, but you
Right.
need to make sure that communication is always key. You're not leaving somebody behind. You are bringing them closer together with you, and making sure that this thing that we call family work as best as it can. And it can.
Right.
Again, nothing is perfect, but we need to work with what we got, the tools that, strengthen the bond has to offer, so that you can be able to strengthen that bond.
So true, so true. Charles Maddox, hello to you over there on LinkedIn. Good to see you as well. Congratulations on everything. Charles, we have to catch up soon. So make sure you message me so I can make sure I don't forget this time. I know we had talked on Instagram. I want to say, for those who are just tuning in, welcome. You're watching Cyrus Webb Presents. We're simulcasting this on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and on Instagram. So excited to welcome back Melanie D. Phillips to our broadcast today. She's a best-selling author on Amazon. She's a motivational speaker. Also, through her organization, Strengthen the Bond, you just heard us talking about that. She's been able to work with several groups and connecting them together. I first met Melanie because of the work she's doing with mothers and daughters. That's why I have her book here, and Your God Shall Be My God. For those of you joining us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, you'll see the link for this book here. But she's doing so much more, as you're hearing here. I got to be a part of two events, Melanie, this year that you were part of speaking. Talk to us about that. What it's been like for you. It's one thing for you to have the organization. It's another thing for you to write a book. What has it been like for you to embrace your role as a speaker, and how you've been able to pour into others that way?
Oh, wait. That is a phenomenal piece that I love doing. Now, mind you, I love doing it all, but the speaking portion that's, I can say that's kind of like my baby. I love it. Because when you are speaking to those, when you are speaking to women, when you are speaking to families, you are actually pouring into them and also giving them the tools to go forth. And and then you follow up with them. You just don't speak just to talk, just to be talking. You also give them the tools. You also tell them, hey, you can do this, you can go forth, you can be able to communicate. So speaking is something that I love doing because it brings people together, not just one person or one family. It brings together a plethora of families or a plethora of people, and also friends, and you know everybody that that's listening to you, and you're able to speak not just to one, you're able to speak to everybody at one time, and
Yeah.
let them know these are the things that I'm doing. This is how my organization can help you, but also this is how you can move forward. If you're here, if you're stuck here, or even if you are moving forward at a snail pace, you can go a lot further. So I love speaking. I always say when you're speaking, it can be just you. You can go somewhere fast by yourself, but when you are with somebody else and you're speaking with others, and you guys, have a strong relationship, or, like CMG, you can go a lot further. You can go a lot further when you are speaking with other people as well, because we may be doing the same things, but we also are doing different things, which help the people, as a whole. So
Such
yes.
a great point. Felicia Brookins, hello to you over there on IG. Felicia says, "Good afternoon. You preach and healing." And so definitely that's true. Dr. Norma, hello to you over there on IG. Danielle Music, hello to you as well. Felicia also say, "Words are life." I appreciate that, Felicia, and that is so true. And I think that is a big part of what your platform is about, Melanie, is about healing. And also, of course, we think we put a lot of attention on actions, and actions of course are important, but you really, through your book and your guide shall be my guide, and through your work, really shows the power of words. So let me ask you, Melanie, when did you realize the power words had, the power of healing and also destruction, but also how we could uplift people through the words that we speak?
You know what? I always use my divorce as an example, but I'm gonna go back further than that.
Okay.
I remember myself and two of my kids. I have three, but
Hmm.
two of my kids. We were on a flight. We was coming from Atlanta, flying into, I want to say, Minnesota at that particular time, because we lived in Minnesota.
Hmm.
And we actually, I don't think we were supposed to be flying, because it was raining and stormy and very turbulent. Now, here's the thing: going through the storms, when things are very turbulent.
Yeah.
And my son leaned over to me and said, "Mom, do you think we're going to make it?" Because as we were ascending into the air, it was very shaky, very turbulent, very rough. And the pilot came on and was like, "Flight attendants, please stay seated. Everybody fasten your seatbelt. It's going to be a bumpy ride." And he leaned over to me with fear in his eyes. And then, as he was leaning to me, and my daughter on the other side looking at me, I had to say, "Okay, Lord, these kids are looking at me and they waiting on an answer. So now I'm coming to you and waiting on an answer. So
Hmm.
please give me some type of answer. Let me know some type of feeling or something, so that I can be able to tell my kids right quick that we're going to be okay." Because I could not give them that answer. And peace came over me, like calmness. And I said, "Okay, children, we're going to be okay." And we were. So, saying that, when I am, with me being able to speak or do the things that I do, I know that me helping those, especially in the midst of everything that they're in, I know that at least if I do it from a place where I already have prayed and set before God, then everything is going to be okay. I'm, because that's my thing, is helping those. So yes, me being able to do that, and that being my testimony, and moving forward, able to help, and with all of that, hearing the voice of the Lord, or feeling his presence, so that I can do the things that I do.
So here you are, Melanie, in this position as we are. You're
Did I
literally
have a
my
question?
last. My
Sorry.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Okay.
No, you did it. But here we are at the end of the month. You're my last guest of the month of August. And, I think a lot of people, Melanie, are looking at this time and they're thinking, oh man, another month has gone by. You know, this year, is almost over. We literally only have 4 more months left in this year. And people are feeling, they're hard on themselves, as you probably have heard people talk about. This year is not the year that a lot of people were thinking 2025 was going to be when they said it was going to be their year. What has helped you to keep the right perspective? Because I think everything's about perspective. I think that story you just shared is about perspective. Because I think, for a lot of times, even though we experience turbulence in life, you said we are able to come out on the other side. What has helped you to keep the right perspective, Melanie? And what would you say to our audience about keeping the right perspective as we move now into September?
Keeping the right perspective is, first of all, you are what you think. um and here's the thing, you are what you eat. So if you something, you're pouring in something negative and you're thinking negative, then you are negative, and these are the things that's going to spew out negativeness. So if you think positive, even though things around you may be all chaotic, if you continue to say, I'm getting through this, not, it's so, the funny thing is, I was listening to the minister today at church, and he was telling us, when people say, I'm sick, I'm getting better, but Lord, I'm still sick, I'm getting better. But here's the thing, why don't you start already claiming that I am healed? So I'm moving forward. I'm moving forward into September. Just because I didn't do the things that I needed to do the beginning of the year or the middle of the year, I at the ending of this year, I am going to do those things. Matter of fact, let me start getting myself prepared. And one thing, we got to always be ready and stop trying to get ready. If we have certain things done and we are working on certain things every day, then we are getting ready. We are getting ready, not procrastinating, because we can procrastinate, say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. But if you're not already working on it, then you're still getting ready to do something that you have not done. So you have to be ready. You have to move forward. You have to break some kind of, write stuff down, right? Do a timeline. Make sure that you are setting yourself up to do stuff. Have I procrastinated in the past? Absolutely. I have said, oh, I'm gonna do this, and this. Okay, then you think about it, Melanie. You should have. This, realistically speaking, you could not have done all of these things
Yeah,
at this time. Now, or if you did, then something would have been lacking.
there you go.
But you have to make sure that you are doing certain things, writing certain things down, and being ready, and not just trying to get ready on a daily basis. You hear people say, I'm gonna do this. Oh, I'm gonna do this next week. I'm gonna do this tomorrow. But what about today? What
Yeah.
efforts have you made on today? So September is coming. It may be that we're in the last quarter of the year. What are you doing right now? What are you trying to put off for tomorrow when you can be starting on something today?
Right.
Even if you want to write that book, you could at least write a paragraph a day. I don't
Mm.
care. It takes you to the end of next year to finish that book. Write a paragraph today, and you might be into that book too, where you say, "Hey, I'm gonna do 2 paragraphs today." So you can do that. Even for me speaking. Now, I may not even be speaking about what someone wants me to talk about, because I find when I am not prepared, and I found that out a long time ago. If you're not prepared already, you're fumbling. But if you sit down and prepare, say, hey, I know that I'm going to be speaking, in which I may not be speaking. Let me just write some stuff down. The next time I speak, I might speak on this. And then when someone say, Melanie, can you speak at my event? Let me go back and look at my book of my speeches that I've written. Let me tweak some stuff. Let me add some stuff so that when I am speaking, I won't be stumbling over my words, or, just looking, because I have done that too.
Mm.
Me going forward thinking, I got this. I am not going to, I don't need to go over anything. And then next thing you know, I'm speaking my cards, index cards flying everywhere because I'm not as prepared, because I'm thinking I know what I'm doing because I've done this several times, but you still need to make sure you know what you're doing. So you always need to be prepared for your next step. So prepare.
Yeah.
Prepare. So yes.
I love that. It's a great reminder for us all. Again, everyone, Melanie D. Phillips has been our guest. Melanie is an author. She's a motivational speaker. She also has her own brand that she's building with Strength in the Bond. And individuals been able to connect individuals, but also to show other people what's possible through the work she's able to do. Again, you all can get Melanie's book, And Your God Should Be My God. It's great poetry about mothers and daughters. You all can get it. For those joining us on the simulcast on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, you'll find the Amazon link there. Melanie, it's always great speaking with you. How can our audience stay connected with you and contact you when it comes to speaking or for other events?
Actually, for speaking or for anything, when it comes to the youth, when it comes to brides, when it comes to anything that regards Strengthen the Bond and myself, go to my website. If you don't remember strengthenthebond.com, just go to melaniedphillips.com, melaniedphillips.com, and from there you have the different tabs that would take you to other areas like Strengthen the Bond, like the Mouth of Babes.net.
Hmm.
Everything that you need to, in order to get into contact with me, you can be able to go on my website, fill out the info form, and then it will come directly to me via email. Also, you can always follow me on Instagram, Strengthen the Bond, or follow me on, Facebook. And now I am on TikTok. I'm slow about it, but I'm on there. So I will be building that up as well. And that's even called Strengthen the Bond. So you can follow me pretty much on all platforms. So
Love it.
yeah.
Love it. Melanie, congratulations to you. Glad to be able to wrap up the month of August with you and looking forward to our next chat together.
Yes, thank you. And I'm looking forward to it as well.
All right. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Cyrus Webb Presents. Until next time, you all make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.